That shit sound good until you start getting touched. When Canelo start touching him to the body and taking the air out of him and be able to hit him with clean shots, because the one thing we can't.
Professionals have revealed their very final picks ahead of the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia.
Aún la descuida mucho y le entran muchos golpes aún.
¿Probablemente un knockout o tú crees que va a la distancia?
Yo creo que por...
One of the two fighters was shockingly favored, and it's not who you expect, but more shockingly, both fighters have promised each other a knockout win. Canelo Alvarez will be fighting against a Mexican for the first time in 7 years easily. One can see how highly anticipated this bout is, as rising star Jaime Munguia is looking to cause a huge upset and give Canelo Alvarez the third defeat of his career that'll strip him of his World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, World Boxing Organization, and International Boxing Federation super middleweight titles.
Yeah, how do you have it?
Canelo.
Easy?
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't think it's gonna be a tough fight?
Huh?
You don't think it's gonna be a tough fight?
Nah.
Why not?
He is able to do that, and it's gonna be a tough fight. Because Munguia could crack too. Munguia could crack. You can see that when he fought John Ryder. When he power punch, he could crack.
It's a big clash that could provide some interesting action, as Munguia has been on a solid run of late and is a strong young challenger. Admittedly, this is not the top fight fans were demanding for Alvarez, especially when a fight with David Benavidez was available to be made, but Alvarez has repeatedly made it clear that he has little interest in fighting Benavidez, who is undefeated, and a two-time former super middleweight champion. Benavidez responded to Alvarez's decision by moving up to 175 pounds, where he'll face Alexander Zik for the World Boxing Council interim light heavyweight title. David Morrell was the next elite super middleweight contender for Alvarez, having held the WBA secondary championship for nearly 4 years without the sanctioning body, enforcing his status as mandatory challenger. Like Benavidez, Morrell also jumped to light heavyweight in response to the seemingly clear message his shot would never come, and will face Rego Kadek in his next fight. It leaves Alvarez as Benavidez as a number 1 versus number 2 matchup at 168 pounds, by way of the two men clearly ahead of Munguia leaving the division in response to the fight being made. Undoubtedly, there are indicators that Alvarez is entering the back 9 of his legendary career, and this fight signifies a change of narrative, where he is now the older fighter taking on an undefeated champion. 6 years is Junior. Munguia is a former junior middleweight champion with a heavy frame and big punching power, who is coming off a pair of big wins against the likes of Sergey Dorenko and John Ryder. On the other hand, Alvarez hasn't shown the same competitive fire he's been known for in years past, with his wins following his humbling defeat to Dembal having seen him take a cautionary approach to how he operates. Even if Alvarez, now 33, is in the inevitable slowing down process of his career and perhaps more selective with his opponents, there isn't anything in Mia's makeup aside from those intangibles that make him a threat. Alvarez looking sharp last October as he easily dispatched Joel Charlo, who provided more of a stylistic challenge on paper than Munguia does. It would take a dramatic decline in form for him to lose. Jaime Munguia is a plotter who can outlast other like-minded pressure fighters with his heavy hands, but he is open to absorbing shots all the same and hasn't fought a technically proficient fighter half as good as Alvarez. Also, it wasn't that long ago when Mia's team was actively avoiding fights with top fighters at middleweight such as Joel Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, and Yank Alon Canale, as they could have potentially sunk. This potential mega fight toughness alone isn't enough to overtake Alvarez just yet, and unfortunately for Munguia backers, toughness is all he has to offer, which has made many of the predictions going favor of Alvarez, with an expectation to sharpshoot his way to victory. Since 24 of Alvarez's 6 wins have come by decision, while he possesses stopping power, truly Alvarez gets his knockouts through accumulation and counterpunches rather than pure aggression, and doesn't tend to stop fighters with a natural size advantage or considerable punching power. Munguia is easy to hit, but his chin looks solid, and he has always taken big shots well. If Alvarez feels like he's getting ahead on the cards and isn't overextending himself to find scoring opportunities, as Munguia applauds forward, his footwork and outside boxing ability will carry him to the finishing line. Perhaps a sign of Alvarez's decline has been his unwillingness to step on the gas and put down overmatched foes like Ryder and Chero, but Alvarez has always been an intelligent fighter and actively assesses risk and reward as the fight goes on. tough, improving fighter, and one who is yet to experience defeat. Talking about predictions, Saul Canelo Alvarez was the very first to predict his own victory. Saul Canelo Alvarez predicted that he will win Saturday's undisputed super middleweight title fight with Jaime Munguia inside 8 rounds. The Mexican rivals fight at Las Vegas's T-Mobile Arena on the occasion of Cinco de weekend, when the 27-year-old Munguia enters what by a considerable distance he is being confronted by a fresher, younger, improving fighter and one who is yet to experience defeat. Munguia has regardless also been dismissed somewhat on account of the reality that to many observers David Benavidez represents the more appealing challenger, and on the occasion of their grand arrivals at the MGM Grand, Alvarez, considered in decline partly on account of his inability to stop his past 4 opponents, spoke of the statement he is planning to make. Winning by knockout is always wonderful, right? The 33-year-old said. So I think I'm going to win by knockout before the 8th round. I don't care if Munguia is younger or older. I don't care, because Canelo in the end is different. It's a very significant fight. It's going to be a historic one. It's 2 Mexicans fighting for all 4 belts for the first time. That's what I'm always looking for, to leave my mark and to put my country up high. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you to all the fans here. I'm looking forward to what's going to be an outstanding week with you all. I thank you for it, and I'm really excited to be here among the crowd present on Tuesday with someone holding a sign in support of Benavidez. Jaime Munguia deserves the respect that he's entitled to, and it's going to be a great fight. Alvarez responded when that sign led to him being asked about the prospect of him fighting Benavidez. The fan that had the sign out there about David Benavidez, he's clearly resentful from the Gennady Golovkin fight. Also, Jaime Munguia vowed to knock out Saul Canelo Alvarez after hearing the undisputed super middleweight champion predict that he will stop him inside 8 rounds at Tuesday's grand arrivals at Las Vegas's MGM Grand. On Saturday, they will contest Alvarez's title at T-Mobile Arena. Alvarez insisted that he will earn his first stoppage victory since that over Caleb Plant in 2021. During Wednesday's final press conference, it instead became Oscar de la Hoya, Munguia's co-promoter and the former promoter of Alvarez, who drew Alvarez's attention in what became increasingly heated scenes. Tom Brown, the co-promoter of Saturday's fight, stood between them when the 33-year-old Alvarez moved to confront de la Hoya. But when Munguia was invited to speak about what represents the biggest opportunity of his career, which falls on the occasion of Cinco de Mayo weekend, having previously spoken of preparing to outthink Alvarez, he insisted that he is relishing a physical fight outside the ring. He has all my respect, the 27-year-old Munguia said of his fellow Mexican. Inside the ring, respect goes out the window, which is what's going to happen on Saturday night. When we step in there, it's a war. I like the fact that he thinks that way. I like the fact that he wants to knock me out, but I come with the same mentality. I think the same as him, but the other way around, and I'm going to knock him out. It's going to be a great fight, and you never know what can happen. I'm so happy, so excited. It's almost a fight day. I want to thank my team for being behind me the whole way. You can expect an all-out Mexican war, so tune in. You're not going to be disappointed. And I'm looking for what's going to be a great fight on Saturday night. Munguia said Canelo has a great deal of experience. He has gone up against great fighters. I may not have that resume where I've gone up against so many great fighters, but what I do have is youth on my side. And what I want to do is be able to showcase my abilities and what I'm able to do inside the ring to be able to come out with the win in the end. He also added, I feel happy, very proud of myself and the team that has brought me along to this point, because everything we have done has brought us here, and that fills me with pride. I've come here to win. It's going to be a tough fight, but in the end it's going to be my hand raised. Saturday's fight is Mia's second since the great Freddie Roach succeeded Eric Morales as his trainer. His first in January against John Ryder ended in a 9th-round stoppage victory. In May 2023, Alvarez struggled to impress against Ryder when he earned a unanimous decision over 12 rounds. I feel great training with Freddie. Munguia said he's not only a great trainer, he's a great person as well. We've worked on so much in our training camp, which has been amazing. You're going to see on Saturday night everything that we've learned throughout this preparation, and the fans are going to be pleased. My fighter Vi is doing really well, and we had a great training camp for this fight, added Roach. He's really on top of the game right now, and we're ready for this fight. Canelo is a very tough opponent, and we know that, and we're ready for whatever he brings to the table. He's going to be the best. Like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Until next time, peace out.